The air was freezing, not just from the rain pouring down, but from the quiet that followed her laughter. She'd sped off in her white Jaguar, tires flinging water like venom, windshield wipers slicing back and forth as though erasing me from her world. I stood there, drenched and disgraced, watching the glow of her taillights disappear into the night. She'd told me, "You needed a wake-up call." Her final words before leaving, "Maybe next time you'll remember your place." The guy working inside the gas station didn't look at me. He turned back toward the register, pretending none of it had happened. But I caught the slight clench in his jaw. Pity, maybe, or disgust. Either way, I didn't move. I didn't shout after her, didn't call, didn't chase. I stayed silent because I knew something she didn't. I had never been alone. We first met 6 years ago. I was the quiet guy, blending into the background at some charity fundraiser, wearing a suit that didn't quite fit the occasion. She, on the other hand, shimmered like royalty, draped in diamonds, surrounded by hungry men, yet clearly uninterested. She told me I stood out, that I was different, gentle, sincere. She made me believe I mattered, that I was enough. We tied the knot after just 3 months. Vegas. No prenup. She insisted love wasn't a business deal. I was naive enough to find that poetic. But everything shifted the moment her father passed away and the board handed her control of the company. Overnight, I stopped being her partner and became her accessory. A pet kept obedient with luxury. She picked my wardrobe, managed my calendar, had her driver escort me to meetings while she jetted off in private planes to recharge in the Maldives. In public, she'd talk over me, correct me in meetings, smirk when I asked if she still respected me. I stayed, convinced that real love meant enduring the hard times. I also stayed because I was quietly building something of my own and didn't want to risk her financial support. And deep down, I still believed the woman I married might return. But standing in that rainstorm, at a lonely gas station, something inside me cracked. I didn't reach out to anyone, because I didn't have to. 30 seconds after she vanished down the road, a black SUV pulled in behind me. Sleek. Silent. The kind of car that never draws attention. Its tinted windows were sealed shut, until one clicked open on the passenger side. Inside, leather seats. Dry. A steaming cup of coffee in the holder. Behind the wheel, Carter, my bodyguard. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. He'd been shadowing me the entire time, ready in case things went south. I climbed in, shut the door, and smiled. That was the precise moment I stopped being her victim. First thing I did was go back, not to our penthouse, but to a place that truly belonged to me. A separate apartment registered under an LLC I created before we got married. I hadn't used it in years. It was minimal, sterile, peaceful. There, I changed everything. My clothes. My mindset. My entire identity. I made 3 phone calls. No details, no explanations, just a message, it's time. Phase 2 had begun. Weeks went by. I didn't call her. She was expecting me to crawl back. I gave her nothing but silence, and that unsettled her far more than any angry reply could have. She started messaging me. "Where are you? We need to talk. Stop being dramatic." I didn't answer. I let her unravel on her own. She threw herself deeper into the party scene, spent more recklessly, tried grabbing headlines by cozying up to a washed-up celebrity. I watched it all play out like a slow-motion collapse. Meanwhile, my people, highly discreet experts I'd carefully brought together behind the scenes, moved without a sound. They investigated, uncovered hidden truths. We found irregularities buried deep within her family's company, misappropriated trust funds, shady payoffs, offshore accounts registered under her assistant's name. Every record was traced, every fake corporation linked. Then came the footage, recorded 3 months before that stormy night at the gas station. She was drunk, laughing, perched on that same actor's lap. He thinks he owns half the company, she slurred to her friends. It'd be hilarious if he actually tried. So I did. I didn't just try, I succeeded. The company she once mocked, my company, the one she dismissed as a harmless hobby, it had matured silently, strategically. Through quiet acquisitions, proxy investors, and clean buyouts, we'd secured significant stakes in 3 of her late father's key subsidiaries. Legally, methodically. And with that, I gained control over 2 essential supply chains that her empire absolutely depended on. She only realized something was wrong when her contracts were voided. By then, the damage was irreversible. There was no dramatic blow-up. No shouting match. Just precision. I sent her one message, the first in over 2 months, requesting a meeting. She came, expecting tears or apologies. She wore red. She always did when she wanted to assert dominance. But that day, it looked more like a warning. Like spilled blood. We met in her office. All glass and marble, skyline towering behind her, a fitting stage. I laid everything out on the table. The forged statements, the video, her own voice ridiculing me. I slid the folder across the desk. She didn't even glance at it. Just stared at me. I don't want your wealth, I told her. And I'm not after your name. Her voice was brittle when she asked, "Then what do you want?" I stood up. "Only this. I'm not yours to control anymore." As her trembling hands reached for the folder, the office doors opened behind me. 3 board members stepped inside. My allies. They'd already reviewed the evidence, heard the recordings, and they'd had enough. The same woman who once laughed as she sped off into the storm now stood accused of mismanagement and scandal. They asked her to step down. Immediately. She didn't go quietly. She lashed out, hurled insults, called me worthless without her. But no one paid attention. Their focus had already shifted to the man who now held majority control. Me. 6 months have passed since that day. She sold the penthouse, disappeared overseas. Whispers of rehab trail her like perfume. As for me, I remain silent, strategic. But now I'm free. I've built something she can never touch. She tried to teach me obedience. I taught her what it means to face the fallout. And sometimes, when it rains and the world goes quiet, I think back to that moment. The look in her eyes when the black SUV pulled up behind me. That was when it finally hit her. I wasn't the one left behind. She was.